Yo, it's the Crimson Brothers back. Crimson Brothers speak on the Crimson Wrestling Game channel. How we feeling about Clash in Paris?
Feeling good, and we're live from the brand new Crimson Wrestling Game studio.
New studio.
So hopefully the quality of the content will increase.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The main event was obviously very predictable. Nothing exciting about it. I want to make this a bigger point. This is a Clash in Paris review, but also I want to make this again just a bigger point about Triple H's booking. I was discussing with Blaze at the end of the show, like, does he actually sit down and write when he writes this stuff down? Does he actually think it's good? Does he legit write down, okay, Becky Lynch is a new member. Let me make this big surprise at the end of the show. Does he think that this is like amazing television when he writes?
I think he does. I've told you I believe that he is surrounded by yes men that are afraid to say, man, this is garbage. This is the worst television that anybody's ever seen. Nobody can say that because they'll lose their job.
And I guess, too, because a lot of it is his boys, of course, Road Dogg. Even Shawn Michaels, I can see it, too, like just his boys, so they're not going to call him out.
They need to have an intervention with him.
Or, of course, definitely not Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie's not going to say anything.
Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Booker T, they all need to get to Undertaker. They need to have an intervention with Triple H. Bro.
Because to literally... And wrestling has always been predictable to some extent. If you watch wrestling, you know, as a fan, you're going to understand things. You're going to know how stuff will turn out just naturally as a fan. But just going into every pay-per-view, just knowing the result is not a good look. I shouldn't go into this show literally being 99% sure that Rollins is winning this match. Like, nothing that happened here. I guess you could say Becky Lynch was kind of a surprise. But even that, I've been saying on this channel for months.
We've been saying Becky should be.
Like, she should have been on the stable the first week.
When they debuted this, it should have been her and Seth in this stable starting together so they can take over wrestling.
So even this, not this big surprise.
Why is Becky Lynch the Intercontinental Champion? Why isn't she the heavyweight champion?
It doesn't make sense.
If she's good enough to be in this main event stable with her, why isn't she the best woman wrestler? Why is she the
And even if you want to make it a power trip thing, she should be the world champion, like the women's world champion. If you want to make it this power, they have all the power type thing.
Even when Triple H and Stephanie were doing this, Stephanie McMahon was the women's champion.
Yeah.
She didn't have some bullshit. It's not only is it predictable, it's stupid.
Because she should have been there to begin with. And the commentators were making it like this big surprise, this big deal. Like, oh, nobody saw this coming. I was talking about this an hour before it happened. I was like,
why is
even
Becky
months
Lynch in this group?
I was like, why is she not in this group? And furthermore, during the match, you know, Big E at the end, you know, in the post show, he was like, oh, I think I know everybody thought CM Punk had it right there. Not a single soul thought CM Punk had it.
Only an idiot. CM Punk or anybody else in this match was going to win the match.
Only a person where it's literally their first time watching wrestling is going to think, okay, CM Punk had it.
And how many first time people?
He doesn't. So, but if you know wrestling, you know everyone and their mama was saying, okay, who's going to be the new member? I knew because he was taking so long to set up the move. He was going super slow. The camera was stuck on him. Like, everybody knew he wasn't winning this match.
But doesn't this prove that he didn't need the vision in the first place? Why not just have Becky Lynch interfere?
Pretty much. And he was kind of saying that in the show, too. He was saying, I've never needed anybody. You know, I've won on my own. So he himself, in a way, is like, I don't need this faction.
The cash in, he didn't need the vision. He could have faked an injury by himself. Like, he didn't need anybody to fake an injury.
So this faction is literally benefiting nobody. Like, it's not helping him.
Didn't even help him. It's, if anything, it's delayed his ascent to the title because he's spent weeks recruiting members and building up the group. He could have just won the Money in the Bank.
If anything, all he needed was Becky. The whole time, he could have just used Becky.
Which is what we said 3 weeks ago.
And Braun and Bronson, they're getting nothing from it. They're not getting higher status on the card. They're not winning championships. Like,
Roman Reigns isn't benefiting from this.
Nobody, literally no one is in storyline, outside of storyline. Nobody's benefiting from this at all.
And then they try to make it like it's this big, oh my God, it's Becky Lynch. It's like, but she's the Intercontinental Champion. She's been feuding with Lyra Valkyria. She's in the mid card. It would be like, it's like, of course Becky Lynch would help Seth Rollins win it. Why would
it's her husband, and it's not. And again, it's also not surprising because okay, at the very least we were expecting like somebody debuting on the main roster. Ethan Page, you know. Even Julia, I know she's been on the main roster, but at least she wasn't on this show.
That's what I thought it was.
But we literally saw Becky Lynch an hour prior, and we know she's his wife. So like, it's a dumb surprise.
It's like, did they not discuss this when Seth was forming the Vision 4 months ago?
They have to literally discuss this in kayfabe. They would have to discuss this faction at home like every night.
Well, before it even happened, Seth would have been like, "Oh, I'm thinking of forming this faction. What do you think? Do you want to join?" They would have had this conversation at least 6 months ago.
They've had to have this conversation like hundreds of times. Like he has to talk about this faction to her all the time. So for her to just now join is insane.
What it makes me think is that Brock Lesnar just didn't want to fly to Paris, so they had, because this is classic Triple H booking. Just book no storylines and then have a surprise.
Pretty much, that's his whole. That's his whole method.
That's all he does.
That's his whole method. He doesn't have any plans.
And this is the worst one.
He has no plans. He'll just have stuff, the same thing on Raw every week. And then once you get to the pay-per-view, he's going to have some kind of surprise he can clip for him.
It's the man's wife. He said that he had a plan B. His plan B was his wife.
His wife.
What a genius.
Genius.
A visionary.
A visionary. Who I've been talking about for months.
Who everybody said should have been in the faction. This is honestly probably the worst pay-per-view of the year. I know I said that about Money in the Bank or whatever.
Might be, honestly, I might agree because this one literally had at least Money in the Bank. Okay, I like Money in the Bank to some degree because the concept I just like, a ladder match. It's really hard to make a ladder match bad. Like the story can be bad, and I'm still interested because I just like Money in the Bank.
By default, the event is who's going to climb the ladder and become the number
or the
one
Royal
contender.
Rumble. Like the Royal Rumble match itself is a spectacle.
This is just the point of this is that it's happening in Paris. Who cares?
So there was literally no draw to this pay-per-view. Like I knew, again, we all knew Seth was winning. And that was if besides that there was no other draw, like a filler John Cena and Logan Paul feud. Which it was cool to see Cena. It was cool to see Cena every time, but the story,
honestly, if this is what we're gonna get, just retire. Just because this reminds me of Kobe's last year when he was struggling to run up and down the court. And it's like he's going 3 for 20 every game, but it's Kobe. So when he makes a shot, it's like, yay, but he's 3 for 20. He's shooting 17%. John Cena, man, this run. And
it's not his fault. I don't even think it's his fault. I think it is definitely Triple H's fault.
This is seriously ruining this man's legacy, yo. Like Triple H.
This is so badly booked.
I'm telling you, we have to make a video, the top 25 Triple H botches as head of creative. And John Cena's heel turn it might not be number 1.
That's crazy to think about, that you could argue it's not number 1.
It might not be in the top 3. I mean, if you look at the potential of what it could have been and what the reality of it is, it might not be in the top 3.
Crazy, man, crazy.
I don't want to see it in it. I mean,
Now, I'm going to be hyped for his last match. I'm going to enjoy Cena as much as possible, but as we've been saying, but really besides Cena, there's nothing else to be interested in. And this company is going to, they're dying already, but they're going to be done when he retires. Like they're not going to have anything.
Who would possibly pay $30 for this?
Man.
I wouldn't have paid $30 to see this live. If this was at the mall downtown and they were asking $30 a ticket, front row, I wouldn't have paid $30.
Yeah, man, like it was just that bad, predictable, everything. The Nikki Bella Becky Lynch match, the botches,
just Nikki Botcha.
Nikki Botcha, she was trying to do a spinning kick off the top rope.
I don't know,
and she was nowhere near Becky, just fell.
No, I'm gonna say I want to be on record saying this, that Nikki Bella is an abuser. And in 30 years, when men feel comfortable talking about the abuse they've experienced from their spouse, John Cena is going to give a documentary and talk about Nikki Bella beat John Cena, man. I'm telling you. All the signs are there. I don't know. That woman does not deserve to be back in WWE.
And ironically, she's there basically because she dated John
Because
Cena.
of all this company is who do you know? Who do your parents know? Who do you screw? Who did your parents screw? That determines everything. Not your talent. Not who do you entertain. Not who's over. God no.
It's not who's over. It is, especially with Triple H. It is. He don't care he don't care if you're over at all. I mean, why do you think again if Gunther is being world champion multiple times, that tells you everything you need to know. So, anything else notable? Anything else on the card? Not good, but anything else notable?
I'm trying to remember when did we come into the show,
and we missed Roman and Bronson Reed. Not much to say on that again.
Of course, Roman wins, and then he gets beat up after the. It's the same goddamn thing every time. It's just like,
and even his returns are quite literally the same thing. They pretty much just spam him returning every 3 months, and they make a big deal out of it. Like how many times? And this goes back to what I was saying. Does Triple H not write this stuff, and he's like, okay, people might be getting tired of this. This might be getting stale.
He has CTE.
He just runs the same thing
Triple
over
H
and over.
Has CTE, bro. That's the only explanation. There's
like
no
he doesn't
way.
he doesn't look at this stuff where it's like, oh, man, okay, this might be getting played out. There's no way you can write the same thing like 10 straight times. And you say, okay, well, this is fine.
Rusev and Sheamus for their video package before the match. They've had so many matches that they were just like, here's a match that they. It was just like a montage of the 12 previous matches that they've had to build up, and it's like it seems like this epic rivalry that it's been the same thing week after week after
and nobody
week.
even cared to begin with. It wasn't even now, at least with CM Punk and Rollins, you could say at least it was interesting at its inception. When he first came back, Rollins had all this heat against him, but they just run it into the ground. This nobody cared about from the start,
and they ran it into the ground.
Like no one cared about.
Nobody
Sheamus.
asked for it. Nobody wanted it. They continued. And you made the point that this probably isn't over. Sheamus is probably going to want a rematch.
Yeah, this isn't over because he made him submit, so they're probably going to make a big deal out of that.
Match.
Yeah,
they're going to have a submission match.
And this whole thing is also built on the League of Nations. And I talked about this during the show. The League of Nations was not over when it was happening. Like, nobody cared about the League of Nations.
This was a jobber faction. From a decade ago. That's what this feud is about.
I think even during that time, people were just talking about how boring they were. And, like, no one cared about the League of Nations. And even the kids in the crowd, like, okay, thinking about the kids don't even know, they have no clue about that group. And even the people that did see it, we have no fond memories of it. So,
we didn't want to see it then. We don't want to see it. Nobody, no demographic wants to see this.
And I can understand if it was the Shield or something, obviously. Like, they had, okay, that's a big deal faction. But the League of Nations?
It's not even like the Hardy Boys or APA or like a mid-tier team from like Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass.
This was the League of Nations.
I'd be more interested in Enzo and Cass. Like, no Cass. I would be more interested in that.
Of course. Anybody would. The League of Nations, they're having a feud over a jobber tag team from over a decade ago. That's what today's match was about. Are you kidding me?
And it was like 30 minutes long.
And
which we've been on multiple rants about that on this channel. Especially with AEW, they have a big problem of having just super long matches. But
it seems like the creative control of both companies are booking for the other company. Like AEW is booking for WWE, and that's why it's trash. And WWE is booking for AEW, and that's why it's trash. How can intelligent human beings be sitting down writing this?
And you know what? And at least with Tony Khan, I think he puts in effort. I'm not as hard on him as I am with Triple H. I think he's trying, and to some extent, what he does book is good, but he's just thinking about that hardcore audience. That's the thing with Tony Khan. Like, he books for the hardcore audience, so at least you can say that. with Triple H, I don't know how this appeals to anybody.
Yeah, but Tony Khan's booking is going to get them taken off of television.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, he cares and he is booking for a hardcore demographic, but that's not good enough. That's going to get them taken off of television, not a business. He needs to book for everybody, as many people as possible. That should be the goal. Booking for as many people as possible so people watch your product and it grows. Not booking for a small slither, a percentage, a slice. What sense does that make? Imagine you have a lemonade stand and you say, I only want to sell to people that are wearing orange shirts today. Why would you do that? What business sense does that make? So
that's what they're doing. And even when Cody was there, like when he was with it when he was in AEW, he was like, "Oh, we don't need casuals."
Yes, you do, you idiot.
We don't need casuals.
That's why you lose hundreds of thousands of viewers because there's really only like 100,000 people that will sit through anything. Okay.
Well, for them, to their credit, 600K.
But they are losing that.
Yeah, they're losing that. Yeah,
it's going to erode. They're going to get kicked off of TV. That's what's going to happen. AEW won't be around in 2030. And
you're in the comments and stuff and Reddit, and people are like, well, it was a great match. Like, if you talk bad, even criticize it, they're like, oh, you're just hating. Like, oh, this is a great match.
Yes, I hate watching FTR for 30 minutes. Yes, I do. I wish it was entertaining. I wish it was Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
FTR for 30 minutes.
FT fucking all right, come on, man. And the ratings prove. Look at the ratings. Every single week I look at the ratings. I don't have them in front of me right now.
But at least with Tony Khan, I can at least say, okay, he's trying his hand. He's trying to appeal to somebody. I think with Triple H, he quite literally just books for himself. I think it's literally, okay, I like this guy. And I'm lazy. I'm gonna just book this week.
Lazy
Levesque. I don't think he tries to appeal to anybody.
I wish he had that type of self-awareness where he knew that he like. I know I'm lazy. I know that, but does Triple H? Otherwise, it has to be CTE. There's no way you can book Sheamus Rusev.
Like you can't
6 weeks in a row.
There's no way you think it's good. Like you can't be sitting. You cannot tell me with a straight face he's sitting down putting this on the card every week and thinking this is good. And this is what's going to draw in viewers. This is what people wants to see. This is amazing. There's no way.
They're going to get kicked off of TV too. They're going to get kicked off of Netflix for sure.
I think that they might make it. They probably will make it through their Netflix deal, but they're not going to get renewed.
They're not going to get renewed.
And then what else was I saying? Yeah, but just back to that point, the Seth Rollins, the predictability. You're just writing this and thinking it's good. It's just impossible. Roman Reigns returns over and over again. Every 3 months you're making a big spectacle out of it. Oh, he's back. It was cool the first few times. I'm gonna say that, but at a certain point,
I don't ever think it was cool. It was never cool.
It was cool like the first time it happened.
It was always gonna be this. It was always gonna be he's gonna be gone for 4 months and come back and. For the next 6 years, basically.
But at a certain point, it's not. How many times can you run this same play and it's this big, spectacle? Like how many times can he be gone for 3 months and then come back? Like, because they don't even make storylines. They basically just run this.
They don't even write him off. At least he's written off this time. He got hurt. I guess. Yeah, put it on a stretcher.
Put him on a stretcher. But they don't even. It's not even real storylines. It's just the one play of like, oh, Roman's back. Oh, he's hurt. He's gone again. Oh, Roman's back. Oh, he's hurt.
So what are we supposed to believe when he comes back again? Because he got beat up this time. So what's going to be different when
he's going to get beat up again?
Why? But we're supposed to forget that this happened, and he's going to come back and like he's going to be overpowered again and beat everybody.
Honestly, that doesn't even happen anymore. He'll come back for 1 week. He'll kind of spear and Superman punch people. And after that, he's basically just getting beat up. And then he's gone. Like, what's there to be hyped for?
I don't think Triple H likes this guy very much. I don't think he's on Triple H's.
And speaking of people he doesn't like, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, he definitely don't like those guys.
He literally told him in the match that you are yesterday's news. Seth Rollins, I know it came out of Seth Rollins' mouth, but it was Triple H's words.
Triple H's words, yup. And the CM Punk too, and the CM Punk, It was funny too during that match, like when Michael Cole was like, "Oh, could this be LA Knight's night?" Hilarious, Michael Cole. You're a top tier comedian. Like, not as everybody and their mama knows, like, it is not his night. It's never his night.
He knows it. His biggest fans know it.
If I was a commentator, I'd have a problem even saying that with a straight face.
He barely got a pop because everybody knows that Triple H doesn't like the guy, so he's not going to get pushed. It's that simple.
With a straight face, like I'm surprised he even said that without laughing.
I don't understand why they break kayfabe so much, but they still put on like LA Knight has any chance of winning anything. We know that you don't like him, Triple H. Like, it's very obvious. Was there a good match tonight?
I mean, I just wasn't caring because there was no story that was interesting.
We had the Wyatt Six.
The Wyatt Six. My main complaint with them, the Wyatt Six, obviously, is that I think it's and I don't think this is brought up a lot. With their character, there's not really much distinguishing each member. You don't really get promos from them. I think that's my biggest problem with them. There's no way to get invested because they don't distinguish the members. They don't cut promos.
No, even when SmackDown was 3 hours and they had all of the time in the Raw was 3 hours, SmackDown was 3 hours, 6 hours of television. They still had no TV time. They still didn't cut promos. They still didn't.
It's just guys in masks.
Explain the motivation of this group beyond, Bray Wyatt used to work here and he died. That's it.
It's really like the Luchadors in a way. It's just guys in masks. It's just guys in masks that are meant to be scary.
So why can the Wyatt Six exist, right? And it's basically Bray Wyatt's family. They're just carrying on his name.
Yeah. Like,
but my Taker Hogan idea is bad. It's disrespectful.
Taker Hogan
and in bad taste.
Taker Hogan merged together.
You might as well make Sami Zayn Taker Hogan. Just repackage Sami Zayn as Taker Hogan. Okay. At least it's better than Sami Zayn. Just Sami Zayn.
Just Sami Zayn.
Taker Hogan versus Brock Lesnar for the or Taker Hogan versus John Cena last match.
That would be a draw
for the title.
That would go crazy.
That would draw 20 million people on NBC. They need to hire me, man. All right.
But yeah, it's just like, how can we be invested in this team? They don't cut promos. We don't know their motivations. We don't know anything about them really. Like, why doesn't Nikki Cross cut a promo? Why doesn't anyone say anything? It's just, and they went on jobbing for months.
And they lost to Karrion Kross's group.
And then all of a sudden they're tag team champions. It's very just illogical, just all over the place booking.
It's like you watch entertainment to shut your brain off and just enjoy the entertainment, just and have a good time. But you can't with this because there's so many inconsistencies. There's so many plot holes that it's almost like they are just toying with you. They're like...
Yeah, like it makes... And wrestling is, again, it's supposed to be just dumb entertainment.
It's supposed to be...
But it's so bad, it just like... It's so nonsensical. You can't help.
Nothing makes sense.
Something has to make sense.
This team jobbed out to Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross beat them. They're the only people that Karrion Kross ever beat. And now they're this dominant force out of nowhere. They just go away, and now they're back.
Even in this faction, like with Seth Rollins, like Braun Breaker. So he's basically his lackey, right? But at the same time, he has this power buff to where he can basically nearly get world title shots. So like, why does he need this faction? Because he's basically beat LA Knight clean.
Why isn't Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a tag team fighting for the tag team titles and making the tag team titles relevant?
That's the logical thing, if anything. And even I think that's beneath Braun Breaker, in my opinion.
I would agree, but
if you're going to do this faction, they might as well.
Why not elevate the tag titles? Why have them together in essentially a tag team, but not in the tag team division?
This faction, it's literally doing nothing for them. They're just there to just be lackeys for Seth Rollins.
And they get beat up. And they weren't lackeys for... His wife had to do it. What does that say about them that Becky Lynch had to interfere tonight?
Not them, Becky Lynch.
That was his plan B. He had to get his wife to do it.
So there's no need, and he basically in this show he just said there's no need for them. He said he can do it without them. So like, this man, it's got to be CTE. Something's up, bro. Something's up.
Did anything make sense tonight? I'm trying to think. I mean, I've even Nikki Bella, right, coming back to WWE television after however many years, and then getting thrusted into the Intercontinental Championship match over all of the other women on the. There's like 50 other women on the roster.
No. This match made it over Stephanie, Vakura, and like Io Sky. Or whatever match Stephanie was gonna have. This match made it over that.
Nothing about the match makes sense. Becky Lynch is above the Intercontinental Championship.
And furthermore, the IC title is featured more on PLEs than the women's world title is. Than the Raw Women's World title. Make that make sense. Unless Rhea's fighting for it. Or, Rhea's in. But besides that, like, it's literally always featured more. Does that make any sense?
No.
Does Zelina Vega, I mention this a lot, does Zelina Vega beating the Secret Herbis one by one, basically burying all of that group and never showing up on TV again, does that make sense?
But the Secret Herbis has been on TV every week.
I didn't even like her doing that, but if you're gonna insist on pushing Zelina Vega, then what's the point of her doing that and then just never showing up again?
What's the point of having Kiana James manage Julia when Kiana James herself is a jobber who's below Julia on the card?
And does it make any sense for her to be an agent? Because that's what I was under the impression of. I thought she was an agent, just kind of helping wrestlers, getting them brand deals and stuff,
like a Paul Heyman.
But she's a wrestler,
right?
So that threw me for a loop because I didn't think she was a wrestler. Because she was just coming to Tiffany Stratton, all these people like, oh, I can help you, I can get you a pink championship. So like, then why are you fighting and wrestling them?
Why can't anybody else just do that? Why can't Tiffany Stratton just get herself a pink championship? Why does she need Kiana James?
And even more stuff. So, John Cena's first heel promo. I'm not changing my merchandise. I'm not changing my music because I don't want to give fans new stuff. You don't appreciate it. Why does he show up in new merch every week after that? There's just so many plot holes. And I get it. Wrestling in itself, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense anyway. It's dumb entertainment. But to have this many plot holes and inconsistencies is unacceptable.
It's just insulting to your fan base. But that's okay. They'll get their medicine because football season is about to start. And they're going to go under 2 million on Netflix. Watch. I guarantee you by the end of this year, they'll be under 2 million. And hopefully Triple H. He's
got to, bro.
Has to lose his job.
This is so bad, man. It's so bad. And the funny thing is with Vince McMahon, people were clobbering for him to lose his job. There was like a whole outrage. Okay, this guy has to be gone. Triple H in just 2 years. I don't care what anybody says in the comments, whatever you say. This is worse than any era of Vince McMahon. It's
not even close.
It's really not even close.
You could go back and watch Raw from 1993, which everybody says is boring, and it will be more entertaining. From 93 to 97, 98.
2007.
Pre-Attitude Era.
Watch
all of that. It's more entertaining than this. This is This is the worst television I've ever seen in my life.
And I'm not speaking of the man. I know Vince is probably, he's bad stuff. He's probably guilty of what he's accused of. But as a writer, I'm just speaking just as a writer, booker, Triple H is so much worse. He's the worst booker in wrestling. Tony Khan is better.
He is.
Tony Khan is better.
Triple H is a negative. He is. He's not just bad. He's burying everybody on the roster. He's also burying wrestling. It's the concept of professional wrestling. He is burying that. He's burying the idea of what wrestling should. This is insane. It's like he's a secret agent of somebody, and his job is to pull at the threads of what makes wrestling interesting and watchable, and just make it impossible to enjoy it.
in every it's like he goes out of his way to make it as boring as
But
nonsensical,
he goes out of his way to do it.
as frustrating as possible.
It should be impossible. It should be that even if you're not super creative, if you have like a high school level education, you could write stories that captivate audience at least some of the time. You have 5 hours a week to do it. You should be able to produce something.
Yeah, there's
Something.
there is no way, and I know I keep saying this, but just producing the same thing over and over and over again.
You have to be trying to do that. There's
That
no way.
has to be on purpose. That
There's
really,
no way that's your creative process.
the creative process is every pay-per-view have matches that people know who's gonna win. Every pay-per-view just go in knowing Seth Rollins
Nothing
is
makes
gonna win.
sense. Everything is goofy. Becky Lynch hitting her head off the table. Her head is a million miles away from the It's just like, do we care about wrestling or not? Like, it doesn't seem like we care about wrestling anymore. Like, the company doesn't care about wrestling. To them, it's a farce. That's how they feel. So what am I, the viewer, supposed to feel?
Yeah, man. So the biggest hope really is eventually he's let go. Triple H is let go. And he can still be there. He can still be there in some other role, but he cannot be head booker. It is hurting stuff too much. Way too much.
Put him on commentary.
Way too much, man.
Dude, it's... Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
And maybe that's The Rock's plan. Like, maybe The Rock eventually wants to take this over. But yeah, this is bad, bro. This is bad.
And we've got WrestlePalooza coming up.
WrestlePalooza.
Which I won't be watching. I won't be reviewing it. I won't be...
We'll probably be up here to talk about it.
I'll look at the results.
And stuff. So that's kind of where we're at with this channel. We don't really watch these all the way or are committed to watching stuff at this point. We'll see our clips and we'll just talk about stuff generally, but yeah, it's bad. We may in the future start doing NXT reviews, possibly.
Because nobody talks about NXT.
Yeah, NXT is pretty
NXT
good.
is the best show in wrestling.
NXT is good.
It doesn't make any sense that nobody talks about NXT because they get more viewers than AEW. People do talk about now. It's always in the context of AEW. This is why AEW sucks, or AEW could be better. It's never in like, this is a great storyline that they have. Nobody ever says that about AEW. It's always like maintenance things.
Maintenance,
like,
yeah.
Things that AEW should be doing, but they never do, which is why it sucks. But nobody talks about NXT, and it's actually good.
People just mention it in passing, like, oh, I know about Obafemi, I know about Trick, but nobody really talks about it, reviews it. So
what's going on?
We kind of want to pioneer that, that space. Just try talking about NXT more.
It's the only thing that I can watch through and through and enjoy, and it doesn't frustrate me. It's literally the only show in wrestling. Everything else is just garbage.
And to be real with you, the other stuff doesn't frustrate me. I don't really get frustrated when I watch AEW because there's some stuff.
Frustrated.
There's some stuff that I like. It's more so, it's either indifference or I don't care, or like, oh, this is pretty good. Triple H booking Raw and SmackDown actually does like infuriate me sometimes.
SmackDown is the worst show on television, and I ask anyone listening to this to write your local USA state or write the USA Network and tell them that they need to fire Triple H. We have to do something as fans. Like, we have to do something. I guarantee you, if they got 1,000 letters or emails from angry viewers demanding that Triple H be fired, somebody somewhere, it would make a difference. So that's what.
To be real with you, I'm surprised TKO hasn't done it already because they're so hungry about the money and stuff. I mean,
because they're still making, but they don't like they're making money. They don't realize that this is gonna dry up. Like, people aren't gonna pay that $30.
You'd think, okay, maybe this ESPN thing might be the last straw for him. it could actually be the last straw.
It's
like,
the last straw for WWE.
especially for Triple H, because if the money doesn't come like it should,
It's the last straw for ESPN.
TKO might actually, give him the boot.
People aren't paying 30. It almost see when this first came out, I thought like if you had YouTube TV, all you had to do was download the ESPN Plus app and put in which even that is asking a lot of people, but it doesn't matter if you have YouTube TV. You have to download the app and pay the 30. That's just not gonna happen. That's absolutely
That's pointless, really. That you might as well just buy ESPN.
That's absolutely not gonna happen. Triple H
So
and Nick Khan, you guys, I think that they be snorting cocaine in the head. I tell you, like when I used to work in corporate America, and what people do all day is snort cocaine. Like that's how you work 16-hour days. I think they're snorting cocaine in the WWE headquarters.
it's something. It's CTE. It's cocaine.
It's CTE plus cocaine.
It's something, man. Because
and steroid abuse.
sober and
It's steroid abuse. It's CTE. It's cocaine, and it's
because
just
that's the only way you can write this show and think it's good.
being an egomaniac surrounded by yes men. That's how you get the current WWE product. That's what it is. Like these people they're on crack. That's how you would book Sheamus and Rusev 12 weeks in a row. The same thing.
Zelina Vega versus the Secret Herbis.
The same thing.
The Bloodline Vortex. Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa.
No. I thought that it was Julia coming to help Seth Rollins. That would have been interesting. Julia okay. Sure. Like, you brought Julia up. She's the U.S. Why not Julia? She's equal to Becky Lynch in terms of the championship. She is the U.S. champion. Look how different it feels, Becky Lynch and Julia, but they have the same title base. This is garbage. It's infuriating. No, I have to make this because Seth Rollins sucks, man. Because when they put him as the special guest referee against for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, they're having this blood feud, and here comes this clown Seth Rollins. Imagine Kane and the Undertaker, right? Kane and the Undertaker are feuding. Oh, I burned our parents alive, and then they make a special guest referee, and it's the Honky Tonk Man.
That actually would be kind of funny, I'm not going to lie. That would be kind of funny. It wouldn't fit the feud, but that would be kind of funny. Was he the one with, like, the guitar and
the
stuff?
Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Look, I think y'all need to, make up, stop feuding. I think we should all just hug it out. He plays it on the guitar.
The Honky Tonk Man. All right, I don't know if he's dead or not, but I'm sure he's dead. R.I.P. the Honky Tonk Man.
What if he's not?
No, what if he dies tomorrow?
Oh, no.
Knock on wood. We're good.
But yeah, Seth Rollins, and I've kind of been, I don't want to say a hater, but I've kind of sounded like a hater lately of Seth Rollins. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I think he's a good wrestler. He's a good person on your roster to have. But he just cannot be the main person of the show.
He needs to be like the third or fourth.
He's not good enough for that. Like, he's not good enough to do that. If Seth Rollins is the best part of your show, if the whole show is built around Seth Rollins, your show sucks. He has to be like a secondary guy to a John Cena, to a Roman Reigns. But he can't be like the world champion, the main guy of the show.
I don't even think Roman Reigns can be the main guy.
At this rate, no.
I think he needs to be a second or third. There used to be many guys. It wasn't just, it's Stone Cold, he's the guy. It's like, no, there's Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley, Kane, Undertaker, Big Show, Triple H. Like, there used to be like 10 guys and then like 20 guys in the mid card. Now we're talking about one guy who sucks and his wife. His
and
random
Gunther with 5 world title reigns.
Like what happened? Why? I was thinking about this the other day. What happened in society where people that were like 6'8", 6'9", like the Undertaker, became wrestlers, is it that there's just less 6'8", 6'9" guys, or are those people just not becoming wrestlers anymore? Like, what is going on?
And I was speaking about the guy in the MFTs, thinking about the crypto stuff. The guy, the tallest guy there, he never wrestles. They never sick him on anybody to attack anybody. When there's tag matches, it's like in basketball. Like in basketball, you're gonna want the tallest person on the court, right? If somebody's the tallest among you, you're gonna want them on the court. You know, same thing in wrestling. You're not gonna put the tallest guy in the tag team matches, or have him wrestle. That makes zero sense to me. You're gonna put Jeff Cobb in the ring before him.
Jeff Cobb gets fatter every week. I guarantee you he's going to look fatter on SmackDown this week than he did last week. And if you go back and watch, which nobody would ever do, but if you did go back and watch SmackDown from the moment he debuted till now, you'll see. I'm going to make a video about this. He's gotten fatter every week.
He does get fatter.
I'm going to take a picture.
He looks pregnant.
Bro, are you kidding me? I guess WWE pays good. He's like, I'm in the WWE. I got this money.
I can't blame him for real, man.
I'm going to eat. He must have been... It didn't look like he was starving when he came into the WWE.
I know the Samoans and stuff, and, in wrestling, I know they kind of...
He's not Samoan.
Well, he's not Samoan. But, in storyline...
He's just fat. He's just... That is what it is. He's just a fat man.
Well, that kind of explains it. I think Samoans kind of carry the fat better. But it doesn't work for him. Like Solo Sikoa, he's fat, but to me, it kind of works.
Yeah, it's like Rikishi.
It works for him, but
sure.
With Jeff Cobb, it's just belly fat.
It's worse than Kevin Owens because he's also short.
Maybe that's what it is. With Solo, his is more like well distributed. With him, it's just belly.
He's just a short fat man who's not even Samoan. What are we doing?
And speaking of. I think on his debut match, he beat LA Knight.
Of course he did. Again, I know that Jeff Cobb pinned LA Knight, but really it was Triple H pinning LA Knight.
But hey, at least he's a beast, Rocket League player, LA Knight. So kudos to that.
Why doesn't he just retire and just play Rocket League all day?
Rocket League's the game, by the way. I love Rocket League. I think I was hearing something about he wanted to get into Rocket League esports. He might need to
just retire. Why do this to your body
and just get buried all the time? He might as well just become a streamer and just play Rocket League
for 1.4 million people on SmackDown. For those people just to bury the show after the fact. Why do that? Just retire and play Rocket League. Why does anybody work for this company? I don't understand. We're at 42 minutes. This is way too long for Clash
in Paris. But that'll be everything, folks. Anything else?
Absolutely not.
Peace out. Crimson Brothers back next time.
For more of the Crimson Brothers, follow the Crimson Wrestling Federation today. I'm commentator Havoc, the voice of the Crimson Wrestling Federation. And you can see the calls I've made in the Crimson Wrestling Federation, in the comic Crimson Wrestling Game, Story of Malice, in the description below.